right. Well, Mamata Banerjee of West Bengal today went to the Supreme Court herself to fight her own case and argued before the judges. The Supreme Court today stepped into a major political and legal battle between West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the Election Commission of India. The Supreme Court has issued notice now to the Election Commission on Mamata Banerjee's petition challenging the Special Intensive Revision Drive, the SIR drive that's currently underway in West Bengal, which EC says is a bid to clean up the electoral rolls before West Bengal elections. 3 months away is the election, and now you have the SIR drive that's currently happening, and Mamata Banerjee says that hordes of names are being deleted without proper justification, and there's very little time for people to actually circle back to correct and get their name back on the list. A bench led by Chief Justice Surya Kant asked the Election Commission to respond on this petition by Mamata Banerjee by February 10th. But Mamata Banerjee's core allegation is quite sharp. She says Bengal is being unfairly targeted. In court, if I could show you some images of Mamata Banerjee in court there, Mamata Banerjee asked why only Bengal is being targeted. Why not Assam? Why not other northeastern states? Why only West Bengal? She accuses the Election Commission of running a politically motivated exercise to delete voters deliberately from West Bengal's electoral rolls. She has used some strong words while speaking in court today, calling the process a bulldozing operation. The most serious charge, she says, is mass deletions. Mamata Banerjee told the court that nearly 58 lakh names have already been deleted in Phase 1 itself of the SIR in West Bengal. And around 1.3 crore voters, according to her, are under scrutiny in Phase 2. She claims many voters were removed without being given a chance to appeal. Her next big complaint, of course, is the role of micro-observers. She says it's not just the EC officials. She says micro-observers who are brought in from BJP-ruled states are also deleting names. Even though legally they are not the final authority, she says local electoral staff in Bengal are being sidelined. She's flagged what she calls logical discrepancies. She says women changing surnames after marriage, families shifting homes, migrant workers moving for jobs, all normal life changes. But this is what's being used to get their names off the list, to strike off their names off the voters' list. These are reasons, and that's not really a reason, she says. She also accused the EC of rejecting valid documents, including Aadhaar, despite earlier court guidelines. She says the timing also is suspicious. After 24 years, why rush this exercise in just few months away from elections? She argued notices were sent during Puja and harvest seasons, basically to the Election Commission. She says, I sent 6 letters, but none of them I got a reply to. Mamata Banerjee even claimed that over 150 people have died in West Bengal owing to this SIR process, including a booth-level officer as well. And then, of course, Mamata Banerjee, standing in the Supreme Court there, called the Election Commission the WhatsApp Commission. Her final appeal to the judges there was save democracy, please. For now, the Supreme Court has not taken sides, of course. It simply asked the Election Commission to explain itself on whatever the allegations made by Mamata Banerjee by Feb 10th. And the case could also have major implications, not just for Bengal, but for how electoral roll revisions are going to be carried out across India. It's already been done in a few states. West Bengal also now, while opposition rule states by and large have cried foul, saying the EC exercise of SIR is deliberately deleting voters who do not favor the BJP. Mamata Banerjee now taking this matter to court, and how? In fact, she also asking for the impeachment of the Election Commission chief. She's also consulted with other opposition party leaders like the Congress as well, and it appears they are mulling over, moving an impeachment against the EC chief. I have with me Dr. Mohammad Ahmed, who's a former Joint Director of the Election Commission of India, Radhika Shah Bhattacharya, spokesperson of the BJP West Bengal. We also have Anurag Singh Dikshit, who is a political analyst coming in from West Bengal. Anurag, let me start with you. Tell us exactly this. The anger that Mamata Banerjee has, saying that names are deliberately deleted just because women have changed their surnames, moved from one location to the other. All trivial reasons, their names are being scored off the list, and this is 3 months ahead of elections. How fair is this? Tell us a little more elaborately what the issue really is in West Bengal.
A very good evening, Ms. Jamal, and to everyone on this panel. As you started very well, you said what Honorable Chief Minister said in the highest court of appeal to the Supreme Court. See, SIR is a process which is a regular exercise. I agree to that, and I think everyone has to agree to that because it is the constitutional thing. But the question is on the contention and intention of SIR, the process of implementation of SIR, and the way it is being rushed and it is being bulldozed to the people of West Bengal. You know, Mamata Banerjee and All India Trinamool Congress says, if you are doing SIR in six states together, why aren't you following the same procedure everywhere? Why are you allowing Aadhaar card in other state and not allowing Aadhaar card in this state? Why are you allowing domicile certificate of UP to be counted as a document which needs to be showed while the hearings are done by the BLOs and EROs, and why it is not being allowed in West Bengal? So you see, there is a partiality, there is a foul play, which is very evident to the people of West Bengal. Now, saying it very particularly and very straight to the point, the last SIR which was conducted in West Bengal was during the left time when there was left parties in the government. That SIR process took about 4 months to happen. This time, the SIR process is getting bulldozed in a very short span in a time period of 2 months. You know, there are many questions, many important questions that are arising. You know, the EC has to issue the final poll list, the poll of voters poll, electoral poll on 14th of Feb. But you know, the hearing needs to be done in the very 4 days. There are 63 lakh voters, 63 lakh people who are yet to be heard by the authorities. And there's only a time of 4 days, Ms. Jamal. You see, on an average, EC has to take up 15 lakh hearings per day in West Bengal. You think it is practically possible? You think, does the panel thinks that it is possible to hear out 63 lakh voters? And also, if they are here, they don't have a time to appeal. They can't go to courts because the final the final electoral list would be published on 14th of February. You know, there are extensions to SIR process in Uttar Pradesh. There are extensions with other states, but not in Bengal. Why? Because in Bengal, there are polls followed by the SIR process. You know, this is questionable. You know, when the people who are living just like you, just like me, just like Miss Banerjee, just like a former joint director of election commissioner, they are alive, but they are declared as dead. They are living, they are breathing, they are eating food like you and me. Now, this is where our democracy is standing in the 76, 77 years of journey. Is this how is this how Loktantra, is this how democracy is supposed to function? Not even a single voter of West Bengal must be deprived of their voting rights.
100%. No legit voter must be deprived, and that's why we're having this conversation as well. Radhika Shah, would you want to come in on this?
Well, I have to say that implementation of anything that comes from the center has always been challenged by Mamata Banerjee. You know, to block central schemes, stating that there are state rights and therefore we need to oppose. And the Honorable Chief Minister's shenanigans are very well known by the entire nation, leave alone West Bengal. Any implementation depends on the state's machinery. For example, data sharing and legal enforcement. Bengal's TMC refused cooperation, delaying the process. For example, they have come out with excuses to say that, oh, there have been deaths and there's been mismanagement. BLO and civilian deaths linked to SIR are due to TMC's administrative mismanagement, not the scheme itself. Central government provided guidance, training and support. West Bengal particularly delayed the execution. Now, if you're talking about selective, targeting claims, as they say, for example, they always bring in the standpoint. A stand is due to careful, phased planning, not neglect. West Bengal's resistance is politically motivated, obstruction and not technical impossibility. Now, if we talk about political motivation, Ms. Mamata Banerjee, the sister, she blocks FIR to protect vote bank communities, not due to any legal or humanitarian reasons. Her narrative of harassment and divisive scheme is completely politically driven. And the administrative and legal excuses that she's very well known to make, claims, of lack of clarity of procedures and deliberate stalling tactics. The BJP, would say that states like Assam have overcome similar challenges with proper training and phased execution. illegal immigration, at the end of the day, affects security, resources, and legitimate voter rolls. She was the one who had cried in the parliament, when she was in opposition, mentioning that the communists had allowed all these Bangladeshis and Rohingyas, etc., to come into the state. Delays by opposition states today harm citizens. It is undermining law enforcement. And let us say, SIR works where states cooperate. Bengal's delays are due to political obstruction, not this scheme. And deaths in Bengal, that she claims that the 150 BLOs have died. There is no independent report to mention the numbers they have mentioned. And deaths in Bengal, mismanagement by Mamata Banerjee, not the central program. The central government.
Let me bring in Mohammad Amin for a little more in detail. Mr. Amin, I know you have defended and rightly so, defending the SIR. One should, if you're looking at a fair election process, we've got to ensure the electoral rolls are clean and legitimate voters with credible records and documents must be, and who are citizens only, must be allowed to vote. But the fact that it's happening 2-3 months before elections, the timing of which looks highly suspicious for anybody, including myself, and that can't be justified.
Nabila, this is the work of the Election Commission of India, and Election Commission of India is doing Election Commission of India is a legal body, means Samvidhanic constitutional body for the country, for the conducting the election in all over the country for the assemblies and parliament from since 1951, 52 till date. And no innocent voter be left behind in the list.
All going to come back to appeal if their names are off the list, and another 2 weeks left. Where do they have time to appeal, sir? Most of them, sir, let's accept the fact that there are a lot of uneducated people who do not know the actual process.
Nabila, you are a editor for press. How you are managing show, that is your job. Same thing happened with the governments. The government has their own running their government of India, the government of state. But this is the headache of the Election Commission of India. It is legally bound for every state election and for parliament. So that this is a constitutional obligation. So you can see there is no innocent voter be left behind in the voter list. Every voter list
How can you guarantee that, sir?
Before the assembly elections and for the parliament before. At this time, everybody has a cry after the election of the state assembly, Haryana, Delhi and Maharashtra. Their opposition leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, credit goes to him. He has started.
So tell us what safeguards, sir, for West Bengal voters, if they are not going to be able to appeal before the date. Feb 14th is the final list that they are going to announce.
Nabila,
if they can't appeal before the date, what is the safeguard? How can they ensure that?
Nabila, this is the job of the Election Commission of India. How can do it? We have already deputed, and these their belows and their state officers are
but
not
that's precisely what Mamata Banerjee is fighting in court. She's saying that the EC officials are not doing their job right. They are removing people whimsically from the list.
No. What happened? Their state officers are not cooperating with the Election Commission, though they are on the deputation of the Election Commission, and there is below sometimes some places. That's why we have suspended them. We have removed from the services from them.
But if a citizen's name is deleted off the list, where does the state officials come into play here?
No, Nabila, all the officers are from Bengal, not from the borrowed from other state. All are their employees, maybe the teacher, maybe the block level worker, maybe the SEAL worker, all are from them, not from us.
Okay.
So they are from their own state and they are doing their local areas work. BLOs are responsible for
so
their local.
58 lakhs deleted off the first phase, 1.3 crore, that's being looked at for the second phase. Mamata Banerjee is giving big numbers, and that number is huge. Imagine that number that's deleted from the voters list.
Nabila, I want to answer from you and from others also. Why the SIR is going to be done? Means we can clean the list. we can remove the death persons from the list.
So
We
that
can
is a
remove the
mammoth
migrated
exercise,
persons.
no sir? Shouldn't that have been
So
done 1-2 years earlier, before
Nabila,
elections?
this
While
is the
fag
job
end
like,
towards the elections, exercise of this mammoth nature is being
and
carried out. And
I am
it's a
telling,
whole life of a person. A whole life can be
agreed,
erased. Citizenship being erased is a big
agreed.
deal.
You are talking about the time, but I am going to mention you when we have started the SIR process. The Bihar election was in front of us, and we have timely done it. 65 lakh voters are deleted, and 22 lakh were added. What is that? No, even 5% have not come voter. They have injustice from the Election Commission of India. This is the clarity of
Okay,
the.
so you want
Yeah,
to bench it on the success of Bihar. Let's hope that happens that way. Anurag, you had a point to make?
yeah.
Yes, Ms. Jamal. What the former joint director said, he's talking about the legalities. He's mentioning again and again that it is the work of the election commission. This question is to the election commission. You know, election commission is also answerable to the people of India. It's a quasi-federal body. If there's a statute in the constitution that provides, a special status to election commission, that does not mean that election commission is not answerable to the people of India. You know what we are not saying, this was not which was supposed to be done. Yes, it is supposed to be done, but the way it is supposed to be done and in the rush it is supposed to be done, this is questionable. Now there are very important questions, Mr. Mal. You know, there's a very if you see the Indian constitution, the biggest act, the most strongest act which I assume and I think for the people of India is the Representation of People Act. You know, Representation of People Act is what makes this democracy a democracy. A Representation of People Act is an act which allows us to vote and choose our representatives who will
Right,
make laws for
right.
us. But what is the relevance of that if you are not allowed to vote? And when Ms. Bhattacharya was
Okay, all
speaking,
right.
that
No, but
just,
that's
just, just the
precisely
last
what's
point,
being
just the last
claimed by
point,
the EC,
just the
that
last
that
point,
will not
and
happen. Radhika?
just the last point. When Ms. Radhika was saying, she was mentioning very few names would get erased. If 1.32 crores is few to them, if 63 lakhs hearing in 4 days is few to them, I don't know what to send also to be mentioned when she was saying that the central government gave trainings and central government provided the resource. She tried to say election commission, but she mentioned central government. This must be noted. Election commission is not central government.
All right,
And
Radhika,
when
quick
she's saying that,
rebuttal as I'm short on time here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Radhika.
I would like to say if it was a slip of tongue, I accept it's a slip of tongue. I cannot be held responsible for a slip of tongue. Now, SIR or NRC includes built-in verification processes, appeals and tribunals, no voters removed without due process. I would like the TMC government to let us know that over the years, how many Rohingyas and Bangladeshis did they allow to come across to make their potent vote bank? They will never have any numbers for that. Errors often arise from, say, let's say, state level non-cooperation, incomplete documentation, and delayed verification
this
by
question
the
must be asked to
TMC.
BSF, not us.
Let me
All
finish,
right.
please. Government has repeatedly, we have mentioned that the Election Commission is doing their job. The Election Commission has issued guidelines and training.
That's it.
but Bengal
So all
delayed-
we're hoping is that none are left out. That's what we hope, and hope against hope, because that's the basic fundamental right to be a citizen and have the right to vote can't be stolen from a person who's a legitimate and a person of this country. There cannot be even one person should be left out of the list. There shouldn't be even one person that should be left out of that list. I
just
apologize.
add
I am terribly short on time. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. We'll continue tracking this story.